Ask the frontline people in your organization what they want from a leader, and two of the top answers will be to know that their work makes a difference and appreciation for the contribution that they make. Ask managers and leaders for the best way to help people stay motivated and engaged, and you'll hear the same response. But ask any group if they've ever received too much legitimate recognition for the good work they do. I promise, everyone laughs. This episode of Results Rule answers the question, how can I provide more effective recognition? Hello, I'm Randy Pennington. Thanks for joining me. Please remember to hit the subscribe button if you aren't receiving notifications when new videos are added. Let's set the stage for this discussion. Everyone wants recognition and to feel appreciated for their contribution. Every leader knows it's important, and it's just not happening. A study conducted by the O.C. Tanner Company found that 79% of employees who quit cite the lack of appreciation as one of the primary reasons, and 65% of employees in North America received no recognition in the past year. Let's repeat that for emphasis. 65%, that's almost 2 out of every 3 people, received no recognition for their contribution in the past year. So how can that be? Well, you could argue that maybe the recognition isn't deserved, but come on, even a broken watch is right twice a day. In this session, I'll cover the 4 situations in which recognition is appropriate and end with the 6 keys to making your recognition effective. But first, let's look at why leaders don't give the recognition they know they should. So when I ask managers in our positive performance management workshops why recognition doesn't happen, I hear 4 responses on a regular basis. Time. Specifically, they believe that they don't have the time to recognize their team, or they believe that giving recognition takes time away from other important activities. So what could be more important than creating an environment where people are engaged, committed, and more productive? We know that what's recognized and rewarded is repeated. And that makes the time invested in recognition some of the most important time you can spend. And it doesn't take long. We're talking minutes in most cases. We find the time for doing things we want to do and believe are important, like having lunch, so it can't simply be about time. They believe that their team is or should be self-motivated. And this is probably true for at least most of your team. But you can't confuse being self-motivated with not valuing recognition. They believe their job is to fix what's wrong rather than build on what's right. Well, your job is to create an organization that consistently delivers great results. And that requires improving on the areas where the team might not be hitting the mark and reinforcing performance and behavior that does. Finally, they're unsure when it's appropriate or what to do to make recognition meaningful. Well, you should show appreciation when the individual or team has exceeded expectations. This is an easy one. But you should also recognize people and teams when they have consistently met expectations over time, or when you've seen improvement even though they might not be completely meeting your expectations. Finally, recognition in the form of encouragement is appropriate when someone has plateaued in their performance, despite consistent effort. And if you want to make it meaningful, a sincere thank you offered either verbally or in writing never goes out of style. Of course, you can also be creative. Just grab a couple of colleagues and a sheet of paper, and you can brainstorm more options than you can imagine. You can also ask your team for ideas, or you can find 25 ideas for giving effective recognition in the Positive Performance Leadership Value Pack. The link to download it is in the description below. However you choose to show your appreciation and provide recognition, it will be most effective if it meets these 6 criteria. It's performance-based and specific. Generic thank you doesn't cut it when it comes to delivering effective recognition. Share the specific performance or behavior that you're recognizing. Don't make the individual or team guess about what they did that caught your attention in a positive manner. It's timely. The closer to the actual performance or behavior, the better. Immediate recognition, of course, is the best of all, but that can be challenging in an environment where you may not be at the same location or even hear about the accomplishment for days or sometimes weeks. And when that occurs, make sure you let the individual or team know that you just heard about their performance and provide a reference to remind them of the specific incident to which you're referring. It's credible. Being performance-based, specific, and timely help. You can also enhance your credibility by sharing why the performance or behavior was important and how it helps the team achieve its goals. And don't worry if your words don't sound as polished as you would like. Your team will immediately recognize language that doesn't sound sincere. It's consistent. There are two challenges with consistency. One, today's exceptional performance can become tomorrow's expected performance. And two, one person's exceptional can be another person's below standards performance. The key is to consistently communicate expectations and to be consistent in your application so you don't create favoritism. It's individualized. There are people on your team who salivate over public recognition, and others are genuinely embarrassed. There are those who would value movie passes for their entire family, and those who would love tickets to the latest exhibit at the local museum or even a contribution to their favorite charity. You enhance your relationship and credibility when you balance the need to be consistent with the opportunity to individualize the recognition that you provide. And it's proportional. There are times when an individual or team's performance deserves a grand gesture. And there are situations where a simple "thank you for your effort" or "I've noticed the improvement, keep it up" is appropriate. The most effective recognition balances the scale of your response with the magnitude of the performance or behavior. Bill Spence is one of the best bosses I ever had. I worked for him for 3.5 years, and in that time, I only remember him using the words "thank you" once. On my last day, he thanked me for being a good employee. And yet, Bill gave me as much or more recognition than any boss I've had in my entire life. You see, he recognized me by allowing me to learn new skills and take on new assignments. He recognized me by showing me what success looks like so I could experience intrinsic recognition for the work I had done. He recognized me by showing interest in me, the person, not just me, the employee. And he had a way of conveying his appreciation without ever saying the words "thank you." And in doing all those things, he gave recognition that was meaningful and credible without ever sounding phony or fake. Well, that's it for this episode. Showing appreciation and providing recognition are two surefire ways for building a committed, engaged team. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and ring that little bell to never miss an episode of the Results Rules Show. And as always, we appreciate you sharing this with your friends, giving us a like, and commenting with your ideas and questions. And remember, the heroes in every marketplace are known by their results. We'll see you next time.